I want people to be able to come in and smoke with me and, like get high with Mom.
Okay, well, thank you, producer. With the thing and the thing.
With the thing. Do you like chocolate?
He's asking you, not me.
No chocolate?
I'm allergic to dairy.
Oh, how unfortunate.
I know, right?
Cheese too?
Well, yeah.
Comes from a cow, right?
No. But not eggs, because those actually come from chickens. Man, I'm so glad you guys still understand the food triangle jokes, because I had a lady yell at me at a restaurant. She's like, no, eggs are dairy. And I'm like, ma'am.
You're in the dairy
I
section.
get what you're saying. She goes, so then you're allergic to steak too. And I'm like,
It's okay, most people think that this tattoo is an artichoke.
I remember you were very impressed when I said I liked your hops. Well, coming from the craft beer industry,
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of hops. I have a lot of shirts with hops on them, a lot of hats with hops.
How we looking there, Chief?
I'd say about less than a minute. We'll be ready to rock.
All right, sounds fantastic. Water up.
I will also-
Everybody looks great. What craft beer side of the world did you come from?
I actually worked at the Crafty Chameleon in Ellisville.
Oh, cool.
I refuse dripping water all over my part.
That's all right. Good.
All right. What do you say we start the show?
Let's do it.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 6. Is that right? Gosh, episode 6, halfway through of season 2 of The Fields. My guest today is the one and only St. Louis stoner mom, Cecilia Mendes. Cecilia,
Hey.
thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Before we get to our interview, though, a little bit of news for our audience. All right, folks. Want to let you know, the Blues win, patients win. We are still doing that. They won last night. That means our patients got 15% off today. They make it into the next round of the playoffs. Percentages go up. They make it to the Stanley Cup. The percentage is going to go up. You're going to call us crazy. You're going to wonder how we're going to make any money. But we love the Blues. We love our patients. We want to make sure both get taken care of. All right, in addition to taking care of that, we've got some $20 eighths in the house. Pineapple Kush and Purple Papaya from Flora. We also have cookies and cream crossed with Purple Punch from Sense at $20 an eighth. Supplies are limited. Come by Florissant if you can. Our anniversary party, 1-year anniversary party, is official. 6/11, mark it on your calendars, June 11th. It's going to be here at Field State. We're taking over the parking lot. We're going to have bands. We're going to have food trucks. We are going to have vendors. It's going to be one hell of a party. Stay close to social media to find out more details. We're also going to have a patient consumption event that is going to coincide with our 1-year anniversary. We've had 2 in the past. It's been a minute since we've had one. We're going to have more again. Stay close to social media for that one tied to our 1-year anniversary. And finally, for you concert goers, we're getting the pot stirred on this one. If you like going to live music, keep your ticket stubs, all right? Don't delete them from your emails. Don't throw them away if you got a hard copy. Hang on to them, because we got something cooking here at Field State revolving around your ticket stubs. All right, that takes care of the news. Cecilia, welcome to the Fields.
Hi.
How you doing today?
Fantastic.
That's what
How
I
are
like
you
to hear.
doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Did you have a good Mother's Day?
I did. It was amazing.
Yeah. So tell me how many kids you have and what are their names?
I have 2 kids. I have a 1.5-year-old named Jade, and I have a 3.5-year-old named Ivy.
And what did they get you for Mother's Day?
You know what? They're presents.
They're the presents?
We don't do gifts. We're not a big gift family. We're more of an experience family.
Okay.
So we're
Nice.
big on experiences instead of stuff we collect.
Did you have a special experience this Mother's Day?
I did. My husband actually brought them up to the booth I was working at the Lamar Sculpture Park Art Fair, and they got to run rampant in the park, and they got to see me work, which was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let me ask you, Cecilia, what was your first experience with cannabis like?
Ooh, that's a fun one. I was 13 or 14, and it was a bong made out of a 2-liter Coke bottle, and I had a massive panic attack afterwards, and it was great. So for the rest of high school, I told everybody I was allergic to weed. figure is an easy out. They can. So after that, my real first experience when I started to actually use cannabis for recreational purposes was in college. I had somebody who really walked me through it and walked me through how to use it and how to find stuff that worked for me. Mm-hmm. And that was really cool, but I was still uneducated, so I just smoked a lot.
Okay. How did your perspective on cannabis change once you got married and had your first kid, or became pregnant, actually?
Mm-hmm. So with both my children, I chose not to smoke. I just didn't know enough education about it and still don't, nor did I have a doctor I could talk to about it because of the stigma, so it wasn't something I chose for myself. But cannabis really wasn't part of my life. After my first child, I thought there was no way I could be a canna mom. I was an alcoholic instead, and it was a lot of fun. Not really. Mm. So after my second kid, and my second round of postpartum depression, I knew something had to change. I couldn't go back to drinking. It's quite literally a depressant. And my doctor put me on some antidepressants, and I started dabbling in cannabis usage for the medical reasons, mm-hmm. for relieving those really gut-wrenching anxiety feelings.
Now that you have kids and you're open about your cannabis use, mm-hmm. did you have a conversation with your kids to say this is mommy's special medicine, or mommy's going to go medicate right now? Oh yeah. So I also have my cultivator, so we actually started the conversation when we started growing our 2 plants. They're incredibly young, so they're not going to understand what medicine really is. We know that until the age of 10, children cannot comprehend what medicine is, as far as like cannabis usage and then not being a drug. Mm-hmm. So we started with having my 3.5-year-old help us with the plants. She helps us spray them every single night. She only sees the gardening aspect. I don't choose to smoke in my house, so when I do go medicate, I tell her, Mommy's going to medicate. Because if we don't stigmatize it, it will not be stigmatized. Does she say anything about the smell in the garden?
She loves smelling the pretty flowers, so I'm raising her right.
When did you first feel the need to start advocating as STL Stoner Mom? When did you decide this is the persona I must adopt?
So that's a fun story. I was actually working in title work and real estate, and I was miserable. It was just not the field for me. I was working almost 80 hours a week, and I was just a fraction of myself and smoking a copious amount of cannabis just to decompress enough to even say goodnight to my kids. So I had a mental health crisis, as anyone would. I was standing on the side of the road, and I decided I can't do this to myself anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I can't do this to myself anymore. So I sent them a text message in the first job I've ever just quit, and I said, my mental health can't do this, and I am so sorry. And I'm like, what am I good at? Still standing on the same road. I'm like, well, I smoke a lot of weed, and I'm a really good mom. Bet. That's it. We're doing it. So that's how I was born. I figured there's not enough people who are, especially in Missouri right now, putting their face out there. We have quite a few Missouri influencers who are moms who are putting their faces out there, and that's incredible. But none of them I really resonated with the things that I was looking for. So that's when I decided to put my own education out there, my own face out there, because that's what I felt was calling me.
What weren't you seeing from the other moms?
Mostly it was just, I think that everyone is still so new in it. So it's nothing against the other moms, because every single one of them is putting out incredible information. All of them are about education. Everything's different. But specifically, I wanted to talk about, well, I'm kind of just a hot mess mom, and so my 3 shticks are destigmatization, mental health, and self-love. So those are the 3 things I really wanted to focus on. And at the end of the day, it wasn't a journey about the other moms. It was a journey about myself.
So destigmatize, self-love, and the third was?
Mental health.
Mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speedy delivery.
Oh, speaking of mental health.
Oh my God.
a happy Mother's Day from the field
Oh,
to
you
you.
guys are so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love flowers. Oh my goodness.
Mom's rock.
I'm right here.
Here's a little water pot for the flowers.
Oh,
we don't want
nice.
them to get wilted.
I appreciate
There
it.
you go.
I appreciate it. And that's sorry, you guys.
We'll invoice
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Now, since coming out as St. Louis Stoner Mom, have you run across the stigma again, saying, I'm a mom, cannabis? What kind of pushback have you gotten?
Oh, a ton. I've had family members who didn't speak to me for upwards of months. I lost friends. I have friends who are in corporate positions who can now no longer publicly hang out with me. So there's definitely stigma, but I decided at the end of the day, even though I felt that stigma, that's what made what I was doing so much more worth it. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to post a picture with my friend. But she would potentially get in trouble with her job if she was on an account that said stoner on it. So we have a lot of work to do. So that means I have a lot of work to do.
Would stoner have been the right word then? Did you use that on purpose to try and sort of take stoner back?
Oh, I mean, I call myself a stoner. I mean, I was just branding myself. I live in St. Louis. I'm a stoner and a mom. So I decided I was the STL stoner mom. That was it. I mean, I thought it was much more classy than pothead. I mean, the STL pothead mom. It just didn't. It doesn't have the same ring
to it.
right?
No.
But, I mean, and there's already the weed mom and a lot of great moms. There's STL stoner mom, which I didn't do enough research before I picked my name, so go follow her. And that STL mom, I mean, there are a lot of branded names, so it's really hard to pick something unique in this world. So.
What common goals would you say you and the other stoner moms or canna moms out there have?
Destigmatization and just the fact that we're moms and we're damn good moms. Excuse my language. I don't know if I can say that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can swear.
We are darn. I was gonna say we are darn good moms. And for me, cannabis makes me a much better mom. And I see all these moms who say the same thing, and I believe them.
How does it make you a better mom?
Oh my goodness, I am very high strung, if you guys know me. And it really helps me get down on my kids' level. Tea parties, that extra song, the 15th time she gets out of bed. It makes me not lose my cool. It helps me see them from their level and not from my level.
Mm-hmm.
I have always had a hard time slowing down, and I try to remind myself that it's not my job to figure out who my kids are. That's their job. So instead, it's my job to get on their level and see the world through their eyes and see how I can make their world better from their point of view.
Can cannabis help you get in touch with your inner child then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned tea parties, but do you find yourself just scribbling outside the lines in the coloring books just like your kids are learning how to
I'm a
do?
little too OCD for that. But we do a lot of laying in the grass, a lot of outside time, a lot of... My daughter's favorite thing in the summer is to lay in the hammock and read her nighttime book and then say goodbye to the planes as they fly over our house. So we're about 30 minutes from the airport, so we see a lot of planes coming.
Mm-hmm.
And every time she's like, hi, airplane. Bye, airplane. As soon as it gets to the other part of the sky. So it's, when I'm medicated, I'm up there with her, singing the songs, yelling hi and bye to the airplane, no matter how ridiculous it may seem. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know they can't hear her. So it's a lot of fun.
So, your kids are 3.5 and
1.5.
1.5.
Mm-hmm.
When they get old enough to want to consume themselves, is that going to be sort of a sit down around the family kind of table conversation, or because they spent so much time in the garden, it's going to be like, Mom, can I roll a joint? Sure, honey, go ahead.
Honestly, I have no idea how to answer that. I'm still figuring out what 3.5 looks like. My husband and I, we've had lots and lots of conversations, and we agree that we would prefer, if they're going to consume, that we know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in responsibility. I also believe there's reasons children should not smoke. As far as mental development goes, but my kids will be educated on it and they'll know responsibility, so I guess the best hope I can have with as a mom is that our communication level is as such that they won't feel the need to hide it from me. And while I may not want them doing it at that point, I'd still rather them not be drinking.
Okay.
So, I don't know. We'll see. Ask me in 10 years.
Are these kind of things that you think about as you've created PACE?
Yes.
Please tell me the...
It's Parents Advocating for Cannabis Education.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that. What led you to create PACE?
Just a lack of an organization that existed specifically for parents in cannabis. And not just parents as consumers. Parents as caregivers. Parents as consumers recreationally. Parents as consumers medically. Obviously, we don't have a recreational market right now. But when I started PACE, what I decided to do was take the first 2 years to build the community. There's been a lot of ups and downs with getting something like this off the ground, and it is very apparent that while I have the drive and the audacity to attempt something this big alone, that I can't put out an education that is based around my knowledge. So that's why the first 2 years is community. The third year is going to be committee.
Committee? I think she just coined the word.
I like that word.
Oh my goodness.
What's committee mean?
Oh, wow. So it's a committed committee that is, I would like to build a community-based education, an experience-based education. I don't know how to talk to a teenager. I don't have a teenager. I need a mom or a dad who has a teenager to come tell me what worked for them, and another mom and dad to come tell me what worked for them. And together, that's how we will formulate this education. It will be experience-based.
So is the education going to be presented in written form, video form, blog? What are you thinking?
So it's going to be a little bit of everything. Right now we already have our website up, which is fantastic.
What's the address?
It is pace-safe.org. And it's up, it's very base level, but it gives us the ability to get names, get interests. And then we also have the first line of information we put out, which is resources, is a resource magnet and pamphlet that has poison controls number, it has the suicide hotline, drug abuse hotline, it has cannabis care team, and then it also has Elevate Holistics. That way you guys can get your meds cards.
So this isn't strictly advocacy, this is education for parents on either side of the issue.
Yes. Yeah, it's for what do I do if my kid's consuming cannabis? What do I do? I mean, because those are questions where you cannot easily find the answers right now. I can't even find the answers. So I wanted to create a space where we could accumulate all the answers. One of my ideas is I would love to have a forum where parents can come talk about their issues and communicate with each other. And while I understand that that exists on social media, I do have spaces available where parents can come do that in person.
That's very important these days. We got to shake the COVID blues, get back out into public, and get back amongst each other.
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to have only one more question for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite chemovar?
Fun fact, I am still learning, and I just learned that means it's not strain anymore because that's a virus. What I just learned. It is chemovar?
Chemovar or chemotype.
Chemovar.
Both are acceptable here at Field State. Not to sound like we're highfalutin or anything like that, by no means. But the language changes so quickly in the cannabis industry that we have to change our vocabulary along with it. And a strain is what you do to your back if you improperly lift something, or it's another name for a virus. And we don't sell busted backs or viruses here at Field State. We sell chemovars or chemotypes. Much more accurate term.
I think that's fantastic. I am more of a what time of day is it? Because I very much look at the terp profiles. I'm very into terpenes because of my...
What terps work for you?
Ooh, all of them but pinene.
Okay.
All of the pinenes, they really do send me over the edge with anxiety. It's something I strain far away from. If I do have a sativa hybrid type that has pinene in it, it tends to not be as bad, especially when there's something like CBG in it. I just got it is from Glaze and it is lemon. And I
The
just
lemon
got
OG cookie haze, and it
that
has
one.
CBG in it.
Yeah, that is what I was told when I purchased it.
Okay.
So,
I'm
and
gonna have to check the bag and label on that one. We still got some here at Field State.
well, and I just got it, and it was honestly just the right thing for me for a conversation, for creativity, for not getting anxious because I stumble over my words a lot. So, other than what word did I just create?
Committee.
Yeah.
Committee.
I forgot it already.
Committee?
Yeah. Go back and watch it again and let us know. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for having me. I think that you're doing a great thing here, and I'm so excited to be part of it.
Thank you very much, Cecilia. You've been an awesome guest. Appreciate it. Please check her out on social media. Cecilia Mendes, St. Louis Stoner Mom.
I am so sorry. I forgot to say one thing.
What?
The Blaze Conference.
Oh, please.
So coming up, we have a couple of big events. Just like they said, they have their Field State parking lot event. The weekend before is the Blaze Conference. And I just saw that if you're a patient, you can volunteer and get a free ticket and hold for flyer.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
So check it out. It's going to be fantastic. They have some great keynote speakers. I will be there because I am everywhere. So come see us. And then if you're not here the next weekend, I'm going to cry. I'll be here.
And next Monday, I'm going to be talking with Stacy Godlewski. She is the program director for the Cannabis Science and Operations program at St. Louis University. Full disclosure, I'm a graduate of the SLU program, but anyone out there looking to work in the cannabis industry is going to be well served if they tune in next Monday. If you want to get a job in the industry, y'all got to go back to school, and this is cannabis specific. So tune in next week. Thank you so much, Cecilia.
Thank you.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See, low key, easy.
Yeah.